This your favorite show. This your favorite show. This your favorite show. It's the Garden Gumbo. It's only me right now. And I'm about to invite some people to come on down. Come on down. Come on down. It's your favorite show. It's the Garden Gumbo. What up, y'all? This is your friend, your brother from another mother. I'm sharing a live to all that want to get down with it. Still trying to work some kinks out. I hope everybody had a good time from the last time. We had an amazing time last time. This is weird. Okay. Where's my colleague? Hey, Audrey. We are. Hey, Audrey. What's going on? Hey. I'm glad you made it. Thank you for coming.
Yep.
Tell the people, the good people, what the show is about today, please.
Okay. Today we're going to be chatting and chopping it up about planning, keys to planning, and finding different free resources for you to be assisted in your garden. If you don't have a friend to call, there are different apps you can use. Just to encourage all of us to do our due diligence to make sure we're going to be successful, and not wear ourselves out, trying to guess this and guess that. Encouraging all of us to just seek knowledge. And we're going to do a little planning, talk about some airflow for the plants, airflow for the roots, and the importance of both of those and how you can go about doing it.
Sounds amazing. That's all we need, all of that. We need drip irrigation, companion planting. All of that goes into the garden sphere. So, who came up with this idea? We got a little bit of feedback. We're back. And my name is Mercy Merce, if you guys didn't know. And I am one half of the Garden Gumbos. And my plural is on mute right now. Tell us where you're tuning in from as I sit back. I came for work, y'all. I got my thermos, you know what I mean? I got my cool cups, and I got to get something in my system. Yo, the sun sets really quickly nowadays. We are in the Eastern Hemisphere. We in Northeast Hemisphere of the United States. My partner just has joined us back. Tranquil Hooks, everybody. I see Indiana in the house. You were saying, Ms. Audrey.
Yes. I'm just glad to be here today. It's been a crazy weather here in Michigan, and it's been a little rough on the plants. So that's something else I wanted to talk about with everybody, is about protecting the plants that you have. Even if you're in those warm climates, let's talk about some of the things you're going to use to make sure that those plants don't get overheated, don't dry out fast. What are some of the methods that we can go about keeping, for those who are growing, who had that good zone, what are you doing to make sure those plants get the right protection from the sun and the soil is not drying out before you water again? Or what time of day you're watering and why you should and should not water at certain times of the day. So it's really just talking about preserving the garden and your hard work.
I agree. Like that is super important. If you depending on where you at, of course. I'm in Gross Home 7B. I water at night. To answer to her question, I water at night because it seems like My plants are soaking up the sun all day long. And by nighttime, nightfall, they just ready to take a drink. And it's like, they've been parched. It's like they was looking for me. And they could soak in all of that moisture going into the next day. And when the sun rises, it's back on a regular scheduled programming.
Mm-hmm.
People that are in southern states, they have to constantly water 2 to 3 times a day. I'm sure.
Right.
If it's starting to look parched, you don't really want that.
Right.
So you have to know your plants.
And then too, there's so many different things that without breaking the bank that we could do, to shade out the plants. But it's I was thinking about doing the zoning, writing the zone or breaking your garden and your farm down in the zones where you know where the sun hits first and where the sun hits last and how many hours is in each spot. So then you know what needs to be covered, what needs to be watered, and that when. And then planting shade plants. So certain plants are gonna grow big enough to shade out, maybe your brassicas, so they don't get burnt up. Your okra will be taller, your corn will be taller, and so just talking about that tonight, different plants and different purposes, just to preserve all of our hard work, you know. And like I said, drip irrigation, different methods to just water the roots and cool the leaves, but just water the roots. Don't water the leaves, Just water, get them roots nourished, and make sure they're mulch or something over them to keep them to retain that water. And good airflow in the soil too. The soil needs airflow just like the plants need airflow. So we can check that off the list tonight too.
I think, I think a good thing to also talk about is reliable seed source places to buy
Mm-hmm.
seeds and herbs and stuff like that, because we're in a day and time where everything is synthetic. People
Yeah.
are acting school right now, so everything's fake. You can't believe anybody and anything, because anybody can be anything, anytime, especially on the internet. So when you are buying things, even on the internet, you want to get reliable
Mm-hmm.
sources to buy. We're going to talk about that. I got a few books. I have a couple of seed books here, because we're going to be talking about like plots and what
And
you
make
should
sure you got
plant
your
in here.
notepad out. Make sure, take a minute to go grab some paper, pencil, not so much pen, but pencil so you can erase some things and move some stuff around. But it's just going to be like brainstorming tonight. We're going to brainstorm. We're going to talk about stuff. We're going to come up with ideas. And something may hit that and solve a solution, a problem. So we'll come up with solutions. But I got
Correct.
a
And like she just said, what my ear heard is you come here for the scoop
notepad.
from the gumbo, because we're going to be talking about a lot of different plots. And we're going to talk about your plots, where to put what, how to companion plant, and where. So, and we're going to need the participation of the audience, because each zone is different. There's no hard fast
Yes, it
way
is.
to garden. I'm going to be speaking on my behalf, which is the Northeast, what I'm doing, and some of my neighbors, because I get intel from them. Audrey's going to be speaking from where she's at in the Midwest. Maybe we can get some people from the West Coast and maybe the South. We can all just trade information, and that's what it's all about. I'm sure each conversation will spark a different idea from someone else. So, we'll bring people on after we bring our guests. We do have a guest today, of course. We always keep a guest in the chamber, and she's going to have a lot of interesting things too to share with us today. I had a surprise even for you, Audrey. So here we are. So it's April 15th. It is tax day. Did you guys pay your taxes? I hope you did. I hope the people ain't gonna come knock on your door anytime. And so, uh, if you want to lead us today, Audrey,
Mm-hmm.
lead us on something regarding what is it? Companion planting slash. It's what is it? It's how to plant for success. Isn't that the title? Okay. I just want to make sure. I didn't want to butcher it. Okay. All right. So back to you, Audrey.
So if everybody has their paper ready or just ready to start doing some think taking, we're going to start with mapping out what your garden looks like. So you're actually drawing out the square footage of the space that you have and putting, it's called a plot plan. So you are putting in there north, east, south, and west. Yep, you
This is
put
an
in.
example. It's just an example. You know,
Yep,
this is what I got going on. You guys, your deal might be different. Okay.
yep. So you're
So
doing your plot plan, and in the plot plan, you have each of the directions. You have all your north, east, south, and west. But this small area here may be your first zone, zone one, and then you have the next zone, which could be broken down that way, right? So each one of these zones is going, the sun is going to come from here, it's going to get hit at a different time. That's important because that's important for watering. You can't water this one the same way you water this one because the sun is on this one.
you must got a call coming through.
Did they mess up?
You must got a call coming through.
Did it mess up?
Did they mess up? You must got a call coming through.
Did it mess up?
Did they mess up? You must got a call coming through. This your favorite show. This your favorite show. This your favorite show. It's the Garden Gumbo. See, that's what happened when you the plug. You know what I mean? People always calling you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the young Russell Simmons out here myself. I don't know what Audrey got going on, but you know, we talk about garden business all day long. And as she was saying, I'm gonna help out my comrade. Get your plots together, okay? She said you gotta put, I don't know if you guys can see this. You got north, south, east, and west. Because sometimes I like how you roll with it. That's right, you gotta lean with it, rock with it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Baltimore Hope Dealer, my sister Sweet Pea. I saw a few others in here. Edwina. All right, come on, sis.
All right. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. My alarm is going off. My garden gumbo alarm. So just give me a minute. You can take the next person. I'm going to clear these alarms out so they won't disturb us. Okay.
Okay, come on down. Get down, get down. Well, I was just going to piggyback on what she was just saying. Listen, we all are. Those who are in attendance, it might be a whole 6 of us, okay? I'm pretty sure it's more. I'm still waving. I'm sitting on a pen. It's ridiculous, you know. Writer. Okay, so you really want to, I'm not sure if the lighting is perfect here, but can you guys see this at all? I didn't, this is a makeshift. This is a makeshift.
I actually could get mine. Just one moment.
Right. This is north, east, south, and west. North, south, east, and west. I think that's east. Sorry, east, west. Right. So the idea is, we all know that the sun rises in the east and it sets in the west, depending on where you are geographically. Thank you. You can see it. Right. Right. Geographically speaking, depending on where you are in relationship to the candidates, right? I'm in the east, right? I'm from the East Coast. So, and I'm in east of Brooklyn too. So we get a lot of sunlight on the east side and it's booming, right? So I find myself having to plant different things that shade won't, what is it? It's called shade tolerant or no? That
Yes.
proper um, terminology. So I got
Okay.
a bright idea since it's more shade on the west, and since we're getting a lot, this is east, right? Okay. East is coming here. I may plant corn here on the west side because it's going to have more. sun coming in to as the sun is coming, the seasons are changing. This is like spring, right? We're in the second quarter. We're in April. So by summer, it's going to be dead set. The sun is going to be here. So I'm gonna plant corn on the west side because come summer, area right here will have a lot of sun where it wouldn't have had it in the colder months. That's planning for success. And then you have to figure out what do you plant with corn, right? What I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure I plant some type of onion. I'm going to plant some kind of squash. I'm going to plant some kind of green leafy, because the corn won't. Um, I plant the corn in the back, so I don't have to worry about anything being shaded by the corn. So that's an idea that I may be working on. You guys might have different. I'm gonna call it battle plans. I'm battle ready. I'm always a warrior, so everything is a battle for me. That's my assignment, and I'm trying to figure out. That was a good plan for me with the corn. So now I'm trying to figure out where to put this asparagus out here. You know what I mean? So I got asparagus popping off, and I also have artichoke too. So I'm trying to finagle that, because I'm doing unique crops that I haven't used before. Because 2024, as declared, as our sister Sarah's kitchen said, plant like you didn't plant before. So we're gonna sexy in some asparagus. We're gonna put in some artichoke. We're gonna put in some kohlrabi. So I don't even know where to put all of that stuff. And will it that biodiversity coexist in my soil, in my biome? So in layman's terms, you don't want to just companion plant. You don't just want to what they call it, what is it, chaos garden. You want to do it right and make it make sense. You want to pull it. You want to plant it at a certain time, depending on its maturity date, and you also want to pull it at a certain time so you could go ahead and put something else in there. But Audrey is definitely more organized than I, and she planned better than I. I'm getting better, but we're gonna definitely listen to her, and let's see what she got going on.
Um, so again, the breaking the breaking the farm or garden down in zones, not only for the time that the sun and the location of the plant and the sun requirement, right? Also, you are breaking it down in zones as far as the soil difference in one to another. Some parts of the farm or garden may be wetter than others, higher elevation. That means the water is going to roll one way or another. So that has to be actually, you can color code that. Whichever color is the driest, where it's the highest and it's going to go down, you're going to put that as well on your plot plan. That's real crucial too. Even if you've already established your garden, it's still okay to go do this now. To take that assessment and say, hey, the wettest part of my garden is this. How high is this? Is this part where it runs off or it runs over? So that's where you may want to put deep taproot plants where there's soil irrigation at, there's this soil erosion. So that's the point of knowing on the map of your garden what gets watered at what time because of the sun. Because if you water when the sun is out and you're watering from the top, the leaves are going to burn if they're going to be in the sun for another 4 or 5 hours. But if you water after the sun passes your plants, now or before it gets over your plants, it'll get a chance to just absorb it or just water the soil and not from above. You just water in the soil either with drip irrigation or with PVC pipes. They have all kind of DIYs on YouTube with just running plain old PVC pipe, drilling the holes in them and running them straight down the rows and connecting them at the ends. And the water hose is at the end of the one that connects it, turn on and off valve. So you'll probably save a lot on water if you water more efficiently with with the along the lines of the rows that you're growing in. Even if you had to make a square PVC thing that sit inside of your raised bed that has a little spigot that plugs into your hose, and you can just plug it up to the hose, water efficiently. So now you're just not watering all over the place, and just the top of the soil gets watered. It actually can get down into the roots because you're watering on the soil. But that was another step in the mapping out your garden. So you'll know where you need the water at. You'll know how far the water is from the garden. The water source is from the garden as well. All these things, the entrance, if you have to have work done at the garden, this is going to come in handy. How are you hauling that soil in? How are you hauling the chips in? You know, what's going to be disturbed? Are you making a path through there? So that's the planning. That all goes through. Get your notebook, a pad, and this is one of the gardens that I have here in Michigan. So it's a 30 by 30, but all of this is still mine's behind there. But this is what I'm cultivating. But I have my notes for everything around it, where the street is, where the other people's high tunnels are, the wind. So if there's buildings to one side of you, there's a windbreaker, or you're putting plants in to be windbreakers. So I hope y'all are jotting this down. Windbreakers are very important, as far as heavier plants too can fall over on the smaller plants. But if they're deep root, taproot plants, like the okra is not falling over, but that's a good shade plant. So let's go from there to.
What would you put beans? I'm sorry to cut you. I gotta ask a question because, like, when you start talking about okras and like brassicas and stuff like that, you gotta. What would you situate those? If you don't mind me asking.
No. Well, beans to me, because they hold on to something, but they can also just move. You know what I mean? So you got to have a structure with them, but I wouldn't put them in the direct line of the wind. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put them where they don't have any cover. So they would be either something is covering them on one side or another. Either taller plants are covering them, and then you still have a trellis for them to go up on, or something, two T-posts, and even a little small chain link fence between two T-posts. Something strong that they can, have some security and they're not getting ripped if you are experiencing heavy winds. But I'll put them somewhere where they had their space to grow, and lower plants, like beets and things like that, and carrot stuff around them, but nothing that they could, the tendrils could actually catch on to and start choking out.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because that's I just put my T-post up for my beans because it's just getting warm here. So this year I'm running just a chain link of an old piece of chain link fence about 6 feet down, and the T-post is going to be about every 2 feet, and that's it. And so the beans are going to be planted right up under there, but there's nothing on the other side of it but other beans. You know what I mean? Then the next row is where the okra is going. So it's going to be 7 feet one way and 7 feet the other way, all okra. So that'll be shading out the beans. Because the beans don't need that much sun burning on them either. So the okra will help that. Then
Back to back or side by side or in
Hmm?
parallel? How you doing it? Because in my mind, is it going to be back to back or running in parallel?
They're running parallel, but there's about 3 feet of space between each row.
Okay.
Yeah, there's about 3 feet of space, enough for a lawnmower to go down, or a trimmer, to go through there. And that's the garden where I'm growing produce. But over at the other garden, I don't have that problem because I don't grow any produce over there. I just grow flowers.
We have a question. What is a good place to what is a good place to plant them close to the corn? Or would a good place to plant them close to the corn is by Tamara.
I don't. I don't prefer beans next to anything really. because beings like to just wander and be free and, kind of just do their own thing. And they have the propensity to choke out something else. But different beings do different things. Like crowder peas, they grow pretty much straight up. They don't really want to run. But you have to know what beans you're growing. Like the scarlet runners, they're going to go everywhere. So they need their own space. If it's a gate, a trellis, or something, even two pallets next to each other, making a point, and then them planted on the outside of that pallet, the outside of the arch. So just putting them together. Any more questions about so far? Anybody
Someone
have
said
any questions?
someone said about the three sisters is a proven technique. Three sister crops. Let's see, do a quick Google. I know what it is, but I want to make sure I get it right. The three sisters are. It says corn, beans, and squash.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a three sisters tomato.
But it's really preference. It's really about preference. Because the corn grows up nice and tall. So that's the ideal. Remember I said about something that shades other things. So in the green beans, the leaves are a little more delicate, you know. But green beans can get loose. They can get to go in between stuff, and that was another part I was talking about. Airflow. Airflow is crucial to keep the pests down. You know, you need airflow. So like with my green beans, I make sure that I thin out the little stuff at the bottom. Even with the squash and zucchini, they never touch the ground. I make sure that they're trained to go up. So they're as soon as they start getting big enough to stand, I put them on about a 5 foot pole, and then I just keep snapping them up, tying them up as they grow bigger. I use knee highs if they get heavy or whatever, but airflow is crucial. And I don't have a lot of pests when I'm growing, when I grow, because I practice airflow. And I make sure the soil the roots need air as well. Because the plants have that photosynthesis they have to do, which gives them their glucose, which helps them to actually produce, to actually helps give the plant leaves nutrients and the stems nutrients. But they need airflow. They need CO2. But they don't get that if they're all clustered together. Now you're looking for the humidity to make it moist in there and be a perfect place for bugs to just, especially if the soil gets wet. But my grandmother did the three sister method, and she was always out there battling insects. You got to put something in between them.
Yeah, you gotta have some type of break. I like to put things like garlics and peppers and stuff in between the crops too. I find that to be crucial because every bug is not going to eat every crop. So if you put peppers there, whether it's rodents or insects, they're not going to like the heat of that. They're going to take a bite of that pepper and they're going to run the other way. Same thing with the onions and same things with the garlic. So sometimes I would like border my good stuff that I want in the middle, in the center. I would border it with something or peppermints. I put mints like today or this week. Since the eclipse, I've been on fire. I planted a good row of different stuff, like let's say kohlrabi, beans. I put squash. I put pumpkin, and on my borders I put peppermint, onions, and just made little teeny borders within the borders that I had. because if, let's say, whatever insect likes something like my lettuce or whatever, they're gonna run. They have to deal. They're gonna have to contend with that onion. They're gonna have to deal with that garlic, and they don't
Mhm.
like the smell of it. And even the birds don't want to mess with that. Once they see that pepper or the peppermint or whatever, it's gonna just titillate their senses, and their nostrils or their senses is so much more heightened than ours, right? They say like a dog can hear 600 times we us. I don't know who's measuring these things, but this is what somebody said it. And also, same thing with any other insects. So someone else is saying cayenne pepper and red pepper flakes work to deter pests.
They are. You're
Also
really good.
mothballs and also cedar. So
Hmm.
it's also good.
But that's the thing on your plan, on your plot. That's what you writing. You're writing down where you've seen them, how you suppressed them, what you used, um, and this is really just building a better mousetrap. Like every year, you're gonna look back at it and be like, they really did good. Oh, I put that there. So any little thing, just grab your book and take it outside with you. To document your farm, your garden for the best results. You know, um, so we talking about the zones. You get your zones together, name them based on one being maybe your one is the one that's the most critical, or one is close to the house, or one is the smallest, whatever it is. But get your zones together, and then also knowing again about the soil elevation. Is it flat? Is there a runoff? Do you need deep tap root plants on one side versus another? Do you need shade plants on one side versus another? And then we're going to get to the next step to me is looking at my plants and seeing what kind of soil that plant needs. That's what I'm saying. In different zones, the soil may not be the same requirement. So,
Right.
so each zone may have a different requirement. We're taught that okay, it's all good. Yeah, if you're growing one specific crop, but if you're growing different things, they require different soil. So you look it up. So tomato, what type of soil does tomatoes like? What's the best soil for collard greens? What's the best soil for okra? What's the best location? And all of that goes right in the right on the map. This this is
I
going
like.
to be your cheat sheet, and don't try to just save it all in your head. But there are apps that are available on your phone. I think it's called Plant It, or Planter. But it helps gardeners to actually put in what they want to grow. It's an app on your phone. They'll give you the plant. They'll tell you what the plant's companion plant is and what pests are prone to that plant. It's on your phone. It's just like the Identify Plant app.
You can go to your extension office, and they'll tell you what to plant in your area as well, and when to plant it.
Mhm.
What's the proven method in your zone, in your state, in your city, in your town.
Yep.
So those are also cheat sheets.
Yep. Cheat sheet too is the what is it? The Almanac. They have a website where you can just almanac.com. You can just put in, you go there to almanac.com, put in your zip code. And when you put in your zip code, it will go to the nearest weather station to you. Mine was like down to 5 miles away. And it literally told me what the weather was going to be. And it had about a couple hundred plants and told when I should plant them and when I should not, whether it was a seed or a transplant. And so it's just a resource. Look up resources for your area. But the almanac.com actually helps you per your zip code, not just your zone, but your specific zip code. I thought that was really cool.
Someone else in the comments, some of the statements and comments that I don't want to just blow through. Deja said beans fix nitrogen and squash shades the roots to hold moisture. Rogra said that the planter app works great. And other people are talking about like planting cayenne pepper and whatever else to, and mothballs and stuff like that to deter pests. Proceed.
Yes, yes. And so we did talk about the windbreakers, making sure that you have plants that can, be a windbreaker for other plants, shade for other plants. So the next thing would be we were talking about airflow. So irrigating, not just people get their grass done, but you should also do it in the garden. So that would just be taking a small small little bamboo stick or something and going down through the roots like where your plants are growing, making sure you're irrigating that soil, making sure you're getting and if you put water down in there when you do that and you can hear it gurgling, that means that it is absorbing fast. That means that there's some suction pockets in there. It's not compacted. If you don't hear any gurgling, if you just putting water on that hole, it's compacted. You need to get those. The roots need air as well. Just like the leaves, not having it too close together, where it can't breathe and it builds up moisture amongst the leaves and all that mold on those. My squash and my zucchini get them leaves. They got the little mildew on them. I keep the mildew off just by having them up off the ground and not so many leaves all over the place. So airflow, that's what we want to work on, airflow. And then from there, once you planting, we're talking about Mercer talking about trap crops.
That's yours. That's your deal. Come on, trap crops. I love the idea.
So with the trap crops, and it's a real thing. So you can look that up. Look for your plant, put it in, and put in trap crop 4. Boom. It doesn't have to be anything you've used before. It could be something that you've never heard of. Like I've never grown a Hubbard squash. But hold on one second, my dog is. Hey, Lou, come here.
Luna trying to chime in. Just like Chalk tried to chime in last week when Edwina came here.
Somebody
We
else
love
can do
pets too. You know what I mean? We
it.
are farmers. Boom, 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 boom. Okay.
So
Show the world Luna. Okay. Luna
no,
is acting like a whole
come
lunatic.
here. Hold
Go,
on.
Luna. Say hi. Say hi to the TikTok world. Luna, say hey, baby.
A black lab.
What it is.
Come here, Lou. She know not to get up on me though. Hey,
And
babe.
she wilds out every Luna. Okay.
So
That's a full moon. Okay. So
she's like,
there you
hey,
go.
mom.
Hey Luna. What it is.
Yeah, that's my grand dog. My daughter was in the military and couldn't keep her, and so she brought her home to me, and she done been here ever since.
No, that's right.
Yeah, she's a community dog now,
Mm-hmm.
and she's really a good. She's a lab terrier, so there were moles in the backyard when I moved here, and that first year she tore the backyard up trying to get them. She has dug about 50 holes in the backyard. So now she's gotten older. She doesn't do it as bad anymore. But yeah, the trap crop. So Hubbard squash is one that the vine borers love. The ones that eat your squash up and mess up your zucchini, the Hubbard squash attracts them. So the idea with that is to make sure you put that Hubbard squash somewhere else. It takes over. It gets really, really big. So if you need a shade plant, if you give it something to grow on, it gets massive like a bush, and they're
This is
beautiful.
a
They look
Hubbard.
like the squash.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm listening.
It actually is a great crop to have when you're growing squash and zucchini because aphids, all of that, love it.
They love the leaves, right?
They love the leaves, the roots, but they're gonna go there, and the plant is almost destructible. You know what I mean? It don't bother the plant. The plant keeps growing, but it keeps it off your squash and zucchini. But you can't plant it next to the squash and zucchini because it takes over. It's just huge. It gets really big. It's beautiful. It's green. I don't even know if the leaves are as edible as the squash. It looks like a little gourd, like a horn of plenty.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like a little gourd, but Hubbard squash. So that is one of my favorite trap crops for 2024. That and eggplant, the Japanese eggplant, because that one also the aphids like to eat the leaves. So I plant that between my okra and my tomatoes.
Galpin said earlier, she said she's using the back to eating method. And she says she doesn't have to worry about the bugs because she has chickens.
This is true.
Yeah,
And the chickens gonna leave their goodness as they move along.
they will. They might put a hurting on your cabbage though. It's cool.
So who do we have as a guest tonight, Merce?
Man, our buddy old pal. You know what I'm saying? My sister, or my other mister. We're gonna have Edwina. She's gonna the tap in from PlantCon. You know,
Ooh.
we
Yes,
went
I
to
want to hear about
PlantCon
that.
in Houston, Texas. This is the second annual or the first annual. I think it's the second year done. They've done it, and it was 2 acres full of plants, and she's gonna share with us some of the things that she learned and some of the people she's met, and I
Yes, I
think
was
it's
told.
great for the
Yes.
community. Just great for the community. You know, more than our show that we had, this being like the roadmap to success, where we bring food, we are here to also teach you about life too. You know what I mean? It's like life is about experiences, and sometimes your friends are people who make your life ease, and when you meet new people and you have a vibe and it continues on your journey. Everybody has their journey. So I'm interested to hear what she learned at PlantCom. She's super excited.
Yes.
I spoke
It
to
looks
her
like
earlier,
you have some nice people too.
and yeah, she shared with me some really cool stuff. So I want to um, bring that incredible energy to the live, and maybe other people would be consider doing a PlantCom or even joining PlantCom next year in your city. That would be pretty cool. So I'll wait till she sends us a request, and we'll just go there. But I think the most important thing, Audrey really nailed a lot of points. I don't know what you guys picked up with this garden drip, but I think like I think some of the small steps are like it's not really the gigantic steps that get you catapulted into the next stratosphere. Everybody want to do it big and do it fast. No, you got to take small steps, and these little teeny small steps every single day is what is going to be the things that's going to make these long lasting changes. And I think that is the things that we should be encouraged of. So I see the our sister, she's tapping in, but I want to say, don't despise, prophesize, tap the live if you're feeling the vibe. Okay, all praise due to the Most High. We're gonna bring our sister in. Please, we got about 8 people here. You know what I mean? We should be having 800 people. Wave to the people in the hallway. You know what I mean? Y'all can say hi to us, man. Our breath don't stink. So we're gonna bring us in here, and we're gonna have a great time. Keep the party going.
Yep.
That's when you got to hit them about the garden gumbo party. Ain't no party like a what?
Garden gumbo party, because a garden gumbo party don't stop.
Hey, that part. Blah.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
I should have had my fan. I should have had my fan out.
I know, just pop it, pop it when we say the party don't stop. Yeah.
Wait.
What does it go?
Yes,
Yep,
sir,
yep, and
got
it
you.
don't stop. Yep, yep, and it don't quit.
Right. I'm gonna be ready next time. I'm gonna have to go in the room and get it.
All right. Oh, y'all. So, first of all, before we get started on everything, because I'm gonna spaz out in just a second, but I was following through. I had my little happy planner that I
Okay.
use, and I was doing my little design of what I have
Okay.
going on. Because I like to draw out my stuff first before I
Yes.
plant, and it helps me because I get a little impulsive sometimes, and
Mm-hmm.
so I'll drop something. I have like this. It's kind of like it looks like a little clover.
Mm-hmm.
It's a container that looks like a clover, and I don't know what I put in there. It's starting to sprout up, but I'm like, what did I put in there? And I'm like, see, this is the reason why you have to put your stuff down, because you get to going, and then all of a
Right.
sudden you say you're gonna remember, and then you forget. So
But
this
that's
is
what I said. I just take the book out with me now.
Yeah,
I
you
just
got
take it
to. You
out
got
with
to.
me.
So I like doing that, and I will say that we learn better from each other. And so I was thankful because I think I posted a video. I'll do a little garden tour every week or 2 weeks, showing
Yeah.
the growth in the garden. And I know that the backyard farms. He was like, "Hey sis, you need to mulch down your bed or whatever." And I talked to Mercy, I think the day before yesterday, and he said the same thing. So I went down to the Tracker Supply store, and I remembered, and I always see it when I go the little mulch for the garden. I was like, I asked the man because like it comes in a big bundle. I
Yeah.
didn't need all of that, and so I was like, how much is it? When he said like $7, I said, let me get this and come on here. And so I fed my bed yesterday and mulched it, watered it down and mulched it. And so I was just really excited, afterwards,
Yeah.
because I'm like, I'm expecting great things, and my peppers are already popping off,
Mm-hmm.
so because
That's what I was saying about that watering, and then now that you got the mulch, it might cut down your watering a little bit. You might be able to do a heavy water with that mulch, and you're gonna be good longer.
right, and I need that because my
Yep.
right now the water bill in Houston is high. The man
Exactly.
keep talking about it. Everybody talking about it. So anything that will keep me watering less is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So PlantCon.
Yes. How did it go?
So PlantCon was amazing. It always is. This is our second year that we had it here in Houston. So from what I gathered, because I'm listening and watching or what have you, is that they are going to put it on here until they really get more established and more connections, from my understanding, and
Mm-hmm.
then they'll branch out to different cities. Um, and so they have it around April, around this time every year, because it was in April last year. And it's like 2 days at our big stadium here in Houston, where the Texans football players play. But like in the in the halls, where you put
Mm-hmm.
on the home and garden shows and stuff like that. But this year it was so amazing because it was like um the attendance almost quadrupled.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I mean, like, PlantCon was a pretty big thing last year, but it was like even bigger this year. And what was so beautiful about it was you have like vendors coming from all across the country,
Wow.
selling things or what have you, because everybody has their unique niches. You have plants that go probably for more than some people's car note, which was crazy to me. I just couldn't imagine spending that much money on a plant. My friend, she almost lost it. She was like, "Girl, tell me I'm not seeing what I'm seeing." And I was like, "Girl, what is you seeing?" She's like, "Girl, he said that plant is $650." I'm like, "What?" And so we would see a lot of that. So I won't say that it's price gouging, but some people get a little funny. I will say that. I think last year the plant of choice was called a blood lily. So
Ooh.
everybody was after this blood lily. So it's a nice size lily, and it is like it has like a sphere. The bloom is like a sphere, and it looks like just a ball of fire, like like a red ball.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. And when I tell you, it was a vendor there, he was selling it for $60 a pop.
Wow.
This lily, and I'm talking about it was just going out, going out, going out. And I wanted it so bad, but I just could not see myself spending $60 on a plant. And so I was like, if it's meant to be, it will be. And of course, like I'm always trying to find stuff for the low low. So I'm researching, trying to go on Etsy, everything. And I went to a nursery in the city and found it for $16.99.
Wow.
Really?
So it's just like but I have some people. I bought a desert rose, and I'll probably post it on like my story later on tonight. It's a beautiful, beautiful desert rose. I got it from a place here in Texas called Brownsville, Texas.
Wow.
Uh, and uh, and they are like it's almost like near the border, bordering into Mexico. Okay, but good people in South Texas. This is a good little nursery, and when I tell you they produce phenomenal plants, I've had a desert rose from them before. The only reason why I didn't live is because of me. I left it outside when it got cold, and these are like like warm party plants, so you got to keep them warm. So this year, I'm bringing this beauty in the house.
Okay.
Is your statement is begging for the question. What is the desert rose and what does it do? Because I'm sure somebody besides myself has that answer, and I just want you to answer.
So what it does is just it's just a pretty flower. It doesn't have anything that I know but it's a desert plant. It's a part of the desert uh, people, plants or what have you, and it produces the most pretty like carnation like flower. But it's beautiful. It's almost like the stem at the bottom is almost kind of like a bonsai trunk, and then it comes up slim, and then it has like carnation style flowers. It's a beautiful, beautiful plant. And they were giving away trees, y'all. Giving away
I saw that line.
trees. They were giving away trees, and let me tell you the ones they were giving away. They were giving away elderberry. They were giving away dwarf pomegranates. They were giving away Texas lilac, Texas redbud, and they were giving away. I'm always forgetting one of them, and a Mexican plum.
Mexican plum. I've heard some of those things.
So I mean, they didn't give you no limit, and they wasn't telling you couldn't get all of them. So I got all of them.
No, that's right.
You
got your admission
you
first.
already know us when it come to free. You know us when it come to free. I'm like,
I know that's right.
I said, so what do I have to choose? And they say, well, you can pick whatever you like. I said, well, what you mean? And they say, I mean, you can get whatever you want. Wrong answer. Wrong answer.
That's when the car got big.
Yeah, and so I was like, well, you can only get one of each plant. They didn't say it was a limit, so I had to get 2 elderberries because I tried to do it from seed, and my seeds didn't come up. So I'm like,
Oh wow.
it's just meant to be. That's all I have to say. It's just meant to be.
No, that's right.
So, but I will tell you, I was telling Mercy. Mercy had told me about Chris, his friend, had given him a recommendation for me to go see a fellow person at the PlantCon because she knew that they were going to be there. And the story gets very unique because I come into PlantCon in my full grace, just coming there. I'm ready to come in there like a wrecking ball, but I had to calm myself down because I get a little too excited sometimes. And so when I get in there, all of a sudden I hear somebody say, Edwina. And I'm like, who in the world is this? You know, so I'm
You
like,
know
you know,
you.
kind of moving because I'm with my two friends. So other than that, I don't know anybody who would know that I would be there. And so I look over and it's my first seed swapping friend.
Oh.
So back when we were in COVID, we were all on Facebook, of course, and so we were seed swapping on Facebook. And so a lady named Karen gave me some tiger melons, and so these no, not tiger, tigger melons, right? Tigger, tiger, okay. But
Tiger.
she gave me some of those melons, and it was crazy because she didn't put her name on anything. So I didn't know it was coming from her or what have you. And at that time during COVID, you know, they were talking about, you know, people sending these anonymous seeds from various places. So I had to check out. I was like, girl, did you send me these seeds? Like, what? I didn't want to plant them until I knew. And so that's our little running joke of how we became friends. But she was like, hey, I didn't know you were gonna be here. I said, no, you know I was gonna be here. So we're talking back and forth. And then she was like, hey, you need to go check out this lady, Blessed by a Bee. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, I said, another friend of mine, through a friend, told me to go check out the lady. I said, where is this woman at? And so she pointed to her booth, which was like cat a corner from where we were standing. And of course, then I just went into full mode. And I just went on over there and I was like, hey babes, you come highly recommended. So I need to know what you said. So come on, give me your spiel. And she was like, okay. And then she just went into it. But when I tell you this girl has a phenomenal product, I'm gonna just show you guys right quick. So the this is her product. It's called her brand name is called Kiss by Bee Organics. And so she's here in Houston, but she comes from another state, okay? And she had this product, and these you see how big this is. So this is her trial size.
Oh
And so
wow.
she was selling like things in a bucket, like for 4 for 25. Let me tell you something. This stuff, she kind of sold this under because like this is the I've used a little bit of it. I've been having some little swelling and inflammation, and it's called Kiss the Pain Away. And
Wow.
it has like shea butter, cayenne, cottonwood, butcher broom, wintergreen, and she says, and 23 other plants that are hard to pronounce.
Wow.
And I put it on my leg out because I was painting, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I put it on my leg. Within a few minutes, that pain was gone for the rest of the day.
Wow.
One
And
for
I
the
mean,
applause.
she had people coming to her booth, and these were like people you could tell were regulars. I mean, it was people, I'm talking about buying some stuff. And I mean, she really made good product, but her and I think the lady that was with her, I don't know if it was her sister or whomever, but they were real nice, pleasant, and knowledgeable. They come from a line of herbalists. So
Mm.
they're
Ooh.
third generation herbalist. And
Beautiful.
so I was really excited by her. She just really tickled my fancy. And so I was like, I can't, I can't help myself.
You can't help yourself.
I can't help myself. And I got another one. It's just a shea butter, and it smells good. It's like peach and ginger. So after I
Wow.
get out the bath, I just put it on my skin so I can smell all pretty going to bed.
Yes.
Smell like snacks. Okay. Ginger and peaches. Okay.
It smells good. It smells good. So
Give her name one more time.
her name is, and you can follow her on Instagram, or she's even on here on TikTok. I told her I was gonna shout her out. It's called Kiss by a Bee. Kiss by
Okay.
a Bee. And I mean, like, she's really pleasant, but I will tell you, I looked at this Kiss the Pain Away, and I was like, no, I don't need no trial size. I need this to be in my house on regular size. And even a regular size is worth all what she's, selling it for. And
Yeah.
I'm
Is it
El
going to the
Cheapo when it
segment?
comes to a lot of things, but this is worth the money.
Mm-hmm.
Really worth the money.
Somebody put that in the comments for us, please. Kiss by a bee.
Yeah, Kiss by
Always
B.
somebody
Y'all
else.
check her out. Support
Oh yeah,
her.
backyard
Real good
farm.
people. And I mean, they also had another little company that I think we all kind of are interconnected with, and it's called what is it called? Uh, heirloom heirloom gardens or something like that. We all have them. They were there, and I got
Wow.
this little smoothie garden box.
Mm.
Ooh.
And so they have seeds. So the seeds were carrot, the big dinosaur kale, uh, noble giant spinach, Detroit dark red beets, chia,
Mhm.
moringa, cucumber, market more cucumber, and then they have a early wonder tall top beet and a Utah tall celery, and that's in
Mm.
the smoothie blend.
Wow, that's all the seeds in that box.
All the seeds in that box,
Oh,
and
that
I
was
just thought that that was so neat. I had to get something from them. I told my friends, I'm like, okay, so my game plan is I'm patronizing small businesses, I'm patronizing black and brown businesses,
mhm.
I'm patronizing women businesses, and I just told them that's just where we're going. And so some of the people that were there were people that I had bought from before, and then some of people we made new relationships with. It was a girl out of a couple. I'm sorry, it was a couple out of Lake Charles, Louisiana. I
Oh,
Inspire. They were selling teas and tinctures, amazing teas. When I tell you, I drank that tea. That was the end of it.
you
I
said
was
I
like,
inspire.
I Inspire. Uh-huh. And I was
Mm.
like, but they're always in Houston. They go to a lot of the plant markets. We have a lot of plant markets in Houston. I'm like, well, why I don't know about it, but I don't be on the scene like that just
Well, you
yet.
about to be on the scene now.
I'm about to be on the scene because
Mm.
I like to take me a nice little field trip on the
A nice little
weekend.
frolic.
frolicking, frolicking in the streets of Houston. Yes, trying not to get hit by a car.
I love Lake Charles too.
Yeah, so when she told me, but I mean, so when we got the teas, it was so funny because each one of my friends, we got a different tea,
Hmm.
but it spoke to each one of our issues. So
Oh
my
wow.
friend, she was having a lot of tension, headaches, or whatever. She
Hmm.
got the tea to that. The man didn't even know it though. I got the
Wow.
ginger tea, of course. You know, I'm having problems with a little inflammation. And
Hmm.
then my best friend, she has an issue with energy. She's energy drink junkie. So
Oh.
she got the tea that helps give you energy and that'll,
Hmm.
get you progressively off of those energy drinks. And I was like, this is amazing. It's like each tea we got was for, so I had to buy some tea from them just alone. Because of that.
I wanna get the names again. Hold on.
We're gonna shout them out again. Don't worry. Keep rolling.
Oh,
Rolling, rolling.
Tamara, it's Kiss by B. The product name is Kiss the Pain Away. But it's a good product. Uh Keep the Pain Away is the name of it. No, it's Kiss the Pain Away. Oh, I'm going back and forth. It's Kiss by B, and then it's Kiss the Pain Away. You got it. You got it right. So yeah.
And keep it simple, sugar.
Yeah.
Kiss. All the kisses.
Uh-huh. And the tea people, they just mixed it with some agave. And I had never had tea like that. I'm always putting sugar in it. But it was really nice. It was a nice blend. They told us you can serve it cold or hot, and it was really good. It was tasty.
And what's their names?
That I inspire like your eye,
Oh, okay.
EYI inspire. Uh-huh. So they're good people, but it was a nice thing. We had the first mixer at the Houston Botanical Garden. You know, that's my favorite spot to go to, and
Hmm.
so I mixed and mingled with a lot of people. I met Tangle Roots. She's on Instagram.
Oh
I met
wow.
her. We had a nice big hug, and she was like, you coming to PlantCon? I'm like, yes. And so we talked about kind of linking up, a little bit more often since we know we live near each other. So we like live right up the road from each other. Been
Wow.
living up the road from each other forever. And she, she was she was a PlantCon ambassador this year. And I was on a sick and shit in list, so I wasn't able to keep up with what was going on. I was trying to get myself healthy. I was like, how did I miss this? And then I'm like, girl, you was laid up sick. What's wrong with you?
Right.
But hopefully, if everything goes well next year, I'll participate more so I can do a little bit more. Because when I went on Saturday, my brain was like, let me see what all I can get, and then doing in another capacity, we can kind of do it a little bit better next year.
So you finding your Houston garden tribe.
Yeah, I
Tribe.
mean, I always seem to find them anyway, because I go to Home Depot or Lowe's, and every once in a while, if they don't say my name, they'll be like, "You that lady, you be on Facebook? I haven't seen you in a while." Because I used to do Facebook lives like every Sunday. So we miss you. You need to come back. And I'm like, but I'm over on TikTok. They was like, no, we want you
Come over
on
here.
Facebook. So I was like, well, we're going to have to work something out because I don't have a lot of time. So every once in a while I get little glares or what have you. And I'm like, okay. But I'll be in my own little world. I'll be in my own little world.
Your happy words. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, look, when you are in Wakanda, okay, you must do and act like the Wakandians do, and you must make sure you radiate your vibranium. If that don't make sense to you, basically, vibe is your tribe. You
Yeah.
know,
That's right.
if you out there, you moving and shaking, and people see that you have that light, they're gonna come to you. You don't have to taste. You just attract it. It's like your energy is so delicious. I mean, we all could agree with that. I'm just giving you a compliment because you're my friend. Both of you guys are my good friends, and it's like I love to sit here and just let you guys shine and be in your element because we all could just like have synergy with each other. And it's like we're learning so much stuff from both of you. You know what I mean? I can just sit back and just watch, and I'm taking notes and I'm other people are too. So I'm just so happy to be a part of this rich community because every week we all just kind of we just get so much information that it just feeds us for the next week. You know what I mean? So I'm just so happy that you guys could just come on and you just sharing everything that you had, going on, and it's like we never get full. It's never empty. It's never a dull moment. It's never empty. It's always gainful in our congregation. I just wanted to say that to you. It's church to me. It's church to me.
What and what was so poignant about Saturday? I had my friends, my good friends, of course, that I grew up with. But like I was like, you know what? I want my friends that I congregate with on Monday. I want them to be here with me. I want them to experience this. So of course, I had to get it down. Like I'm like, I gotta figure out how to bring them with me, but then I'm gonna act a fool because I'm gonna be the one that's gonna go off and leave them. And so I was like, well, we gotta do us a little video real quick. But like my friends that I have, they are beautiful. They put up with my foolishness, but they don't truly understand. You know what I'm saying? And so like we all are collectively the same, and so you all understand. So I'm like, I just wish. I was like, I just wish they could be here. And then my best friend was like, what are we, chopped liver? I said, I ain't got time for that today. Okay, we not supposed to go there.
Right. He not. Don't try to pick a fight.
Yeah, she was trying. She was trying to. But what's so beautiful about it is she's not a gardener, but she walked out with 5 trees. She got this purple plant, and then she got this bromelaid. Now, mind you, the bromelaid I bought her, and I was like, you're not gonna kill this plant, Jackie. Just do it. And she kept it for a a good long while, and then she left it in the cold like most of us do in Texas because we think, we're not gonna have no winter, and then we have a winter, and then we lose stuff, right? But she you know she's finding it, you know. She's like, when we were sitting in the backyard kind of like doing our little show and tell, she was like, after we got off of the video, she was like, what am I gonna do with all these plants? And she talking about, God dog it, you got me again. Like,
You her garden influence.
I said, well, you know, you don't have to worry about it. I'll help you take care of your plants.
You know you might end up getting them anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
I was like, oh, we might be able to have a couple of more trees added to the school, you know, because we had Friday we have to use up all our grant money because the school year is getting ready to end. So they sent me down to Home Depot, and I just bought all the trees I could find real quick, the little fruit trees. So I did a lemon, a lime, a pomegranate. We got a dragon fruit. We got a guava. And so the kids were so excited. And so I was like, but before we plant these trees, y'all got to read and tell me, you know, what you find interesting about this fruit. And so they were like, for real, can we do a commercial? So
they
that's
trying to be like you.
Word up.
so that's where that little video came in, and one little boy, he knocked my socks off because I was like, "What?" I said, "Because in the video he says that grapes are."
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
And I'm like, "You just want to say that word. You just want to say that
You
word."
definitely want to say that word.
Yeah.
You're driving.
But then he came back and he was like, "I want to do another one." Because I need to hear what you're gonna say before you get on this. But these kids, they were so funny, but a lot of them are shy. I had one that has a speech impediment, but he really is working on his speech. So, like, for him to get on and just do it, he wanted to do it. Now he's not really an official member of the garden club. His godmother works at the school, so if she has to stay a little late, she just be like, okay, he gonna be down there with you. And I'm like, wait a minute, but he be cutting up. But he likes it, and so, you know, we just do it. But they have really been excited. We put our plants in the garden already. But it's something about around April, it slows down, and so when the garden really picks up, they're out of school most of the time. So
Yeah.
we just
That
have
really
to
is the hardest part about trying to teach kids gardening in school because they don't have the facilities to learn inside, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe we can come up with some more hydroponic stuff.
Yes, now that does really work, and they like it. Like one of my boys came in today. I guess he was just in a mood. I don't know. He was like, "You told me I could plant a seed." I'm like, "Why we got to do this today?" But you know, like we had pep rally, we had a lot of stuff going on today, and I was like, "Okay, I got my little box of seeds." I say, "Pick your seeds." So he wanted to plant the glass corn seed. You know, it looks like a rainbow. It's really pretty.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, go ahead and get your 3 seeds. And I gave him a pot of soil. And I'm like, okay, you got to watch this plant come by every day and water because I'm not going to be. Because, you know, I have my stuff in hydroponics, but this is just in a potted plant since he just had to do that today. So, but the hydroponics, like even people who come in from the district or like, some of the administrators or even other teachers, when they come in my classroom, they are so knocked out by the hydroponic system. Because, of course, you have the sound. It sounds like a fountain, and they're like, you just make this room so inviting. And then they see the grow tent over on the other side. They're talking about, what is that? I say, time out. No, I'm like, no, just kidding. Because when I say time out, they're like, this woman putting these children in time out. I'm like, no, I'm just kidding.
In the dark room.
Yeah, so I showed them, and she's like, you got a whole grow tent in here? I said, we garden in this classroom, so. And they are always excited, they want to see what's growing on, so it's all good.
That's a good idea for maybe the beginning of the school year to start the grow tent, the beginning of the school year, and maybe use some 5-gallon buckets
Yeah.
for the plants to just keep growing throughout the year.
Yeah,
But they're growing
I
they'll
gotta
grow
come
in
up with
school.
something. But I
Yeah.
will say I'm thankful to this school that the custodians they water my plants during the summer.
Wow.
Wow.
Because they have we have one custodian. He's from Haiti. And
Hmm.
so he was like, whatever you want. And he was like, can I do that? And he was just explaining. And he really doesn't talk a lot because his English is not well. But he was telling me and showing me pictures. And so that just goes to show you how gardening is so universal. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, how much money you have, how much money you
Hmm.
don't have. Like that is something that really unites us. It connects us. And I mean, they enjoy seeing things grow. It's another custodian. She's from El Salvador, and she wanted me to grow a specific pepper. And I was like, whatever you want, I'll grow it. Because they're
Hmm.
so accommodating during the summertime when we're out. And we had about 8 or 9 watermelon.
Wow.
Wow. When you got back,
Yep.
Wow.
see, that's what I'm saying. You probably could just go all year round.
Almost. The only months that kind of get a little wonky are when we go into December, January, and February. Can't do nothing. The only thing that you're gonna get in those months are like mustard greens, collard greens,
Broccoli.
cabbage. So like those, like right now, I can't grow any kind of greens right now.
No,
The
it's too hot.
caterpillars are on fire.
Mm.
I'm talking about they are eating everything in sight. I'm so sick of
You
thumping
need
them.
to get
I'm
them
thumping them.
the what is that? What is it? Praying mantis. Order the praying mantis little sack.
Yeah.
All you need is two.
Okay.
Order them and put if you don't want the caterpillars, order the praying mantis sack.
Yeah. I don't want these now. I do have so I have one plant that's a host plant for a certain type of butterfly. So now that is coming up. That's that passion flower vine. So
Hmm.
I have that. I like to watch them lay the eggs, go through the whole process. But
Right.
they tend to stay on that plant itself.
Yeah.
These
Hmm.
caterpillars that I have, these are web worms coming from my mulberry tree.
Yeah,
And
well go ahead and get you them
going crazy.
the praying
Mhm.
mantis. Yeah,
Yes,
they'll take care of that.
yes.
Yeah,
But
They
put
should
the
really
sack
do
right
that,
over
though.
there by them. Put the sack right over there by them, and when the temperature reaches a certain point, they'll go ahead and hatch.
okay.
But
Dr.
Audrey,
Wellness said you creating a zen space for the kiddos.
Audrey, I don't think she could rock with them praying mantis in the classroom. It's probably a whole
No,
buzzing.
she's talking about in
So this is
her,
my home garden.
her
Oh,
home.
okay, okay. Gotcha. My bad,
No,
my bad.
because these kids, they
But
they
it could be a good science project because they do them in the aquarium.
in
If
aquariums. Yeah,
yeah, they watch them hatch in aquariums too.
yeah. Because I know, like, we had like it was almost like an infestation at our school of nothing but caterpillars. But the kids were so intrigued, and they hadn't cut the grass, so we just let them be, or whatever. One of the science teachers took about 5 of them inside, but they turned into moths. So,
Hmm.
you know, but it was a beautiful thing for them to watch. And then the little boy that I told you about, the one that was talking about the grapes,
Hmm.
he when we do garden club, he got to pick up every insect, and I mean, but it's all good and all fun, and they enjoy it. So I'm trying to think of a capstone party to have for them for the end of the school year. Um,
Hmm.
just so that they can they working on a 1 seed challenge because their parents are showing me the picture of they 1 seed, and I mean they're keeping up with it. Their parents are telling me about it, so I'm just trying to think of a little party that we can have because every other week we have a snack. So
Hmm.
this week for Garden Club snacks, we're finally gonna do those dates that are supposed to taste like Snickers or whatever. but we might make them like mounds because I got some little coconut shavings or whatever. So we'll every other week we kind of do something, that is a alternative or like a healthier snack or something like that. So I'm just trying to start thinking about our little party.
Okay.
Hey, that's dope, man. Our brother Paul Ron was also talking about the bitter leaf tree, right?
Uh
Um,
huh.
maybe that will bring some interesting points regarding the insect problem. So I'll let you, continue to say what you were saying, but I want to bring him up too. But I'll
Oh
bring
no, I'm finished. You can
different
bring them
additional
up. I'm
information.
finished.
Yeah, he's sending us a request. Let's get our brother on here. Brother Paul Wrong. What's up, my brother? How you doing today, brother?
Yeah, I was
Yes, sir.
sending that out to Nerdy Girl. Yeah, I was really sending that out to Nerdy Girl about the bitter leaf. Said that her business can grow, and it's exploding over here. Everything that I cut back, it done filled up that greenhouse again. So you
Oh.
know, if somebody needs a few sticks to get their stuff going, I can send it to you.
Give us some intel on that, on the bitter leaf.
So that's part of like part of what I had sent you guys before.
I
I
remember I
sent
got.
out I sent out bitter leaf. I sent out leaf of life, and then some assorted seeds. But the bitter leaf is a West African uh, like vegetable and medicinal herb, and they do a lot of different stuff with it. When you have a lot of leaves, they can kind of like wash it in water, and it will make a almost like a sud or a soap, and then they'll use that. The women will use that to wash their hair. It
Mm.
it's medicinal in the sense that it's like it works on your scalp and uh and helps with that. People take it for diabetes. People take it for inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
There's a brother named Daoud. He's he lives in West Africa, and he went there with the original Hebrew Israelites who went to Ghana and Damona, Israel. He went to Ghana. He was part of that contingent, and he was the guy who introduced me to it through a video. He said that he believed that the Cameroonians and the Nigerians who eat a lot of bitter leaf, he believes that those communities, the people are more intelligent.
Mm.
Mm.
So, and that was the real reason why I bought it. And so I bought like three or four little sticks, kind of like what I sent you guys out. And I have grown everything off of that. And Edwina, there's a lady in Houston as well, an African lady. She's Cameroonian, I think. She grows about three or four different versions, at least three versions of the bitter leaf at her place, and she grows a lot of West African traditional vegetables. So you can check her out on the tube.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's
I don't remember her site
What's
right
some
now.
good instructions on that, brother? I mean, sorry, I'm not the cut over you, but what's some good instructions? Like, we had a dead still. You know what I mean? I planted it in two different ways. I planted it vertically and I planted it also horizontally. So, like, share with me, what's the best way to grow that leaf? I still have it. It didn't do anything. It didn't. It did.
Yeah, I don't. The main thing with it is keep the ground moist when you plant it. And what I do is when I plant it, I will bury all but about an inch of it. If I do it vertical, I'll
Oh,
only like an inch sticking up, and
okay.
that keeps most of the stick moist and able to absorb and put out as many roots as possible. And
Mm-hmm.
it'll throw some leaves up. I've never really had one fail, but the ones I sent out with you guys, what I did was I tried to make sure that there was some green growth on it. I tried not to mail anything that didn't have at least some green growth on it. But when I had cut them, there was a freeze, and so that may have, affected them.
Okay.
Affected what I sent you guys out. But right now, I have plenty that they're green from top to bottom, and they're thick enough to start. Yeah, you shouldn't have no problem starting from these, but you just need to bury it all but about an inch. And if you choose to bury it horizontal, you'll bury it about an inch deep, but you need to kind of stay on top of the watering until it gets established.
Oh, okay. Because I thought I did. I thought I did something wrong.
Me too,
Yours didn't
brother.
grow?
I thought I did so. I said, oh, I done did this wrong.
Yeah, no, I said I still have y'all addresses.
Okay.
I'll send out some of y'all. Let me know how it turns out.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Okay.
switch. I'm gonna switch my strategy. Like,
Yeah.
I had put it in a bed that had a bunch of worm castings in there, so I knew that the soil was very rich, and it didn't do anything. Again, it's in the window, right? It was the best lighting that I had.
Right,
I
right.
thought it could have been like, by the window. It's still New York. We still got some 30 and 40 degrees. You know what I'm saying? I said, should I put it on a heat pad? I was just like all different type of things. So when you said to submerge it, um, so it can be trapped up in the moisture component, I'm gonna just stick them in my elderberry trees because I mulched it very, very well. And I'm going to put it all but an inch, right? And I'm going to put
Right.
them all in there. And I'm just going to put a little tag on it and let's see what happens because everything is growing in that pot. So
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
just see
I
what
think all
happens.
right. Let's do that. I'll get it out to you guys, and I think you'll be more than all right with that.
Yeah.
Uh, like I say, it could have been the freeze that affected them.
I think it was user error with me. I'm gonna just be honest.
I'm going to blame
I think
me
it was
too.
me.
I'm going to blame me too.
I think it was me. But that's
Yeah.
only because I was unfamiliar, and I usually look things up, but I didn't, and I was like, well, I hope it comes up. So it's still in the ground, but it's not doing anything for me right now.
Probably
So
is a late bloomer.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
but
it's been around.
that's just the trial and error of gardening and everything like that. But we keep on trying because that's the same thing with me and corn, and my corn is looking pretty good this year. So we're gonna
Go
keep
ahead. Go ahead.
trying until we get it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And people get stressed out about growing things, but when you think about it, with nature puts out a lot of seeds in order to get successful plants. And
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the things that I'm learning too. Like even when I do starts, I like say if I wanna grow 50 plants or something, I'm
Mm-hmm.
growing one tray, which might be anywhere from 54 to 72 uh,
Mm-hmm.
seeds in the tray, and then I expect to get 50 really great plants. Well, how many seeds is on an ear of corn? You know what I mean? How
Right.
many how many seeds is on a dandelion or a chrysanthemum
Mm-hmm.
and then how many of those flowers are out there in the field? You
Right.
know? So
Right.
I think we put way too much pressure on ourselves, but at the same time we need to kind of understand that if we want truly viable and vigorous plants and we planting from seed, we got to plant more than what we need in order to make sure that we can have, the number that we need to have. And so,
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
I like starting in those 72 cells. I really do.
me,
Mm-hmm.
me too. I just got some. I just got the ones that do the air pruning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to see how they're gonna turn out for me because I do believe that my other cells they were holding too much moisture, and I was and because when I was taking the plants out, I had some of the roots instead of the roots being white, some of them were too dark, and I
Mm.
knew that root system wasn't, it wasn't healthy, you know, because usually when you pull a start out, if it's healthy, the roots will be white, you know, and so I'm hoping that this will get me there. They're real sturdy. They're made by Bootstrap Farmer, um, and they weren't expensive. It was like I think I got 15 of them for about $130, $140, something like that.
Is that expensive or what?
I don't think so. I mean, because they're real sturdy. Like you can stand on them, you're not gonna crush it or mess it up or anything. It's not like the little like 6 pack sales that you get when you buy like tomatoes or something like that from the big box store. You know,
Right.
this thing is thick and sturdy, and I plan on buying some more. I might try the ones by what's that? Never Sink Farm. They have some too that do the air pruning. So basically, you know when you start in a cell or a cup or whatever, and the roots start to wrap all around the inside of the cell, that air pruning stops that from happening. So you don't have to when you go to put it in the ground, the roots will go out naturally the way they would as though you had planted directly in the ground with the seed. You
Okay.
know.
Because they don't have that. They don't have the size to stop them.
Yeah, they train themselves running around the inside of that cell. But since they have those cuts in the cell, when they get to that edge and hit that air, they do
Mm-hmm.
something different, you know. And then the bottom of these trays, they have a big hole at the bottom. It's like the size of a quarter, so it might be even a little bit bigger than that. And you can stick your finger up through there and push the plant out of the hole, you know, and so you're gonna get less like root damage and stuff, you know, trying to pull the plants out, less shock putting the plants in. That's the theory anyway. So we're gonna see. Because I got a bunch of stuff. I got like 1,000. I got about 1,000 seeds planted, and in those trays, and of course not gonna come up. You know.
That's Merce clapping.
Yeah, that's his clap. That's amazing.
There it is.
Yeah,
I'm neck and neck with you, brother.
was that right?
Brother,
Let me
I'm
know, Merce. I think I had sent you some of those purple bell peppers. Let me know if any of those come up because I'm not getting any of those to sprout so far.
I didn't
I
do
got
those
Have
yet.
one.
Look. I'm brother. I got a lot going on. I ain't gonna share all my little secrets, but I tell you the truth, man. No lie. I went wild this year. So like and I said I actually donated like like low key maybe 60 to 100 plants to a couple of my neighbors already. So I don't even know what's coming up at this point, but I will get to those peppers. I saw those, and I'm doing the okras. I got some red okras. I think Courtney sent me some of that. I mean, I'm just getting the interesting stuff, the stuff that I haven't touched before. And I'm right. I'm back to back with you, man. I got the karabi going. I low key from the night of the eclipse. I've been on fire.
On
I planted
fire.
I planted 600
Yeah,
plants
fire.
during the eclipse. I took a break for 2 days and I put about another 300 in there. And then I just been putting like maybe 60 to 70 plants like every other day since that. So it's like but everything is coming up too. Like those hydroponics helped me out a lot. Um, man, and so it's like, and this is crapshoot, you know what I'm saying? Because like where we're at in my region, anything that you put out before Mother's Day, you're really taking a huge gamble. So I might lose it all. Knock wood if I don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm praying every day. But I think you know we always testing and pushing the limit. A farmer
Mm-hmm.
really has to have the faith that
Yes.
this is going to happen. It
Yes.
has to happen. And like I was talking to Audrey last week, and when I put everything in, I made sure I mulched everything. That was crucial. And so after I dropped everything, first I had to get it out of my house, right? Because when you're doing those trades, like he has, I like that that medium that you have. Um, would you get it from Bootstrap Farms? You said that
Bootstrap. I
right.
don't
Mm-hmm.
know if you can
His
bootstrap.
planters, those planters are dope. My planters, they look like this, right? It's a different medium, and so I planted a bunch of grapefruits in there, and some of them didn't go well, right? And these were bad, and like I maybe had about 6 trays of some stuff that I didn't even know what it was after a while. I know I had kohlrabi, I had spinach, I had Swiss chards, turnips, and listen, I double seed these things. It's 50 to each block, I guess. This is some type of hay medium. I took the gamble. I went ahead and just planted the whole thing just like that. So if some come up, cool. If they don't come up, cool. But instead of like throw it all out, start all over, I just said, hey man, let's see, something has to happen. The ground has to heat up. Using this medium in the home because again, I'm in a colder climate. It started to mold. Some of these things started to like grow mushrooms. So I said that was the last thing I needed was like some kind of like mold spores in my house. Once you start getting that in your walls and stuff like that, you're in trouble. So
Mm-hmm.
once I start seeing mushrooms and I ain't growing mushrooms, forget about it. So I had to take it outside. So um it was a challenge and like I also just started donating stuff in my neighborhood. Like I wanted to like share with others. So if it does pop off, I tell my neighbors, hey, look, just give me half. It's increasing my territory, and I'm in the spirit of giving and sharing, and also charity. So I'm paying it forward, and maybe they'll, if it's free, at least they'll take care of it. You know what I mean? So, but I hear you. Like, I wish I had the weather. The heat, the heat is what we're lacking. But again, is stressed. I know they're going to get stressed because some things had heating pads, some things didn't, and then I'm just hurling it out there in a climate. So I had to mulch it, double mulch it, and then I threw fertilizer on it because again, um, the goal was to like stimulate these very dry cells. So I don't know, and maybe I might be crazy, or then maybe I might be genius. I'm walking a line. But regardless of the fact, I'm overdoing it. It's either it's gonna bloom abundantly or it's just gonna just all flop. And if so, you just dust it off and try again. What do you say? You live and learn. And also, like I said, most people say in this in my area, they like, man, you slow down, Kimosabi. You know what I'm saying? They like, whoa, Kimosabi, you gotta slow down. But I had already committed to it. It's like it was already growing in the house. And if I
Mm-hmm.
don't put it out there and it's in water or whatever, you don't want these things to just get used to water. You have to put it eventually in the soil. So I had to go with it. So I'm with you, brother.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a lot of it just comes with the territory. Like you say, you're gonna take the risk. I know Derek took some risks, and it paid off for him. He put his okra in the ground. Kind of early. He tested the boundaries, and we didn't have a freeze. We didn't have a frost. Let's put it that way. And so, like last year, we did have a frost. After everybody thought everything was all cool. And I lost some plants out in the field. Um, this year, some of the stuff got stressed. I had it in the greenhouse. I put it out in the field, and it's just starting to kind of bounce back, and put on some new green growth, and we'll see what it do. But I believe it. Where I have been successful is planting that with diversity, a lot of different things, and keep planting and don't stop. And so your wins start to outnumber your failures
Yeah.
when you do that. But to say you don't have failures, it's just you're gonna always have some failures, and And if you're not having failures, it's because you're not planning. That's what I say. You know what I mean? You just got to keep planning. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you can't plan everything, man. Some things you got to roll the dice. Man. You got look. I said I'm putting it out there. God gonna water it. Let's go. This week we're gonna have it's gonna rain Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I'm like, hey, let's get it.
That's
Right,
right.
Let's
but not plan like with just the N on the end. Plant, with the T. You got to keep planting. I'm kind of stopped up, so it's probably not sounding right.
You good, brother? Yeah, man. Listen, what's your most interesting crop you got, man? You got some good stuff.
I'm kind of I think I'm kind of like you. I like to grow unusual stuff, but this year I'm really trying to do production, man. So I'm growing stuff that I wouldn't normally be growing. So I'm growing all one type of okra over here at this property. I guess the most interesting thing I got going right now is those Sikkim cucumbers, those Himalayan cucumbers. I'm really excited about that. That's the cucumber that looks like a Klingon would be eating it. You know,
Not the Klingons.
it'll keep like 2 months. They say that cucumber will keep 2 months on the shelf, unrefrigerated. The flesh of it is crisp like an apple, except for the very center where the seeds are. You
Mm.
know, and it's my first year growing that. Then the next thing I got that is very, and it's also from Baker Creek Rare Seeds, is
Mm-hmm.
that Jersey Devil tomato that looks like a pepper. It looks like a long pepper, and I mean I got almost 100%
German.
germination out them seed packs, man.
Wow.
Hey, I'm gonna throw this in here, man. This is all going with I would be remiss. We was talking about, just our planning for succession. I was ready for y'all tonight. Let me share something really quickly, and then we're gonna bring our friend um, Marie Goldberg, the nerdy girl. She want to share about her goat farm. But I have some interesting things I want to share with you guys. We didn't really go too deep into it. Maybe if you guys like this show, we'll run it back maybe next week. But I had pulled out my herbal almanac, like Audrey was talking about the almanac. Understand? What's that? You got a question? Oh, okay. I thought we yeah. So I wanted to bring this in. This will share with you where you should plant your herbs along with your foods. So this is a pretty good book. I'm not through with it, but it's a good reference if you guys want to screenshot that. That's cool. Um, I also pulled out the backyard homestead. Is also where to put things at too. And it also has
Oh yes.
things about how to grow, like how to build certain things like DIY, raised beds, um, the chicken coops, how to build that better, aquaponics and hydroponics, and also beehives, and also plumbing. So this is, I don't know if you guys can see that. This is a
Mm-hmm.
cool book. If you guys want to go, maybe another show, we will like start to talk about some components of this book. And one last one, um, the Forager's Bible. Okay, and those who our friends who like the forage, right? Um, Depending on what grow zone you are in, we already know. We spoke about within the last two Garden Gumbo shows. We start talking about, hey, they're gonna start taking out the invasive species in each um, state and city. So it might be a good idea for people. Oh, I will hold it up. All right, I'll hold on. Put each book up again. I will definitely share that. Um, so it might be a good opportunity, guys, to start foraging, surveying canvas your area, start looking for like interesting plants, as Audrey stated earlier. Start using these plant apps. Google Lens is a free one, right? What was the one you used before, Audrey? Tell them again.
I use Plant Finder.
Plant
Mm-hmm.
Finder.
Tied
It
inside
might be a,
the trees and everything.
it might be worth the what, $15 a month? Is
It's a
that?
free app.
Oh, that's free. Plant
Yeah.
Finder. You know, if it's growing prevalent in your area, then that's the medicine that you need in your neighborhood. And of course, we start talking about reliable seed and herb places. I pulled out the Seed Saver, and Seed Saver Exchange. I'm sure everybody has good places, but they could also grow things. But there's colorful guys. They have a lot of different interesting things. And it tells you when to plant it for your grow zone. And of course, Baker's Creek. Um, I like to just peruse these little magazines because, like all of you guys who have the bug, we find something like, man, this would be interesting. Look at this purple radish here. You know what I mean? So when I look, I got the grow bug. So anytime I see something, I'm trying to find something different. Um, so before I move on, people in the comments ask me to show the books again. So this one here, this is 7 books in one. It's the glare. Okay. This one is called the Forager's Bible. Okay. Um, this one is the 40 projects of building your own backyard for your homestead. You guys want a screenshot? Okay. And which one? The 2024 Herbal Almanac. And I'm sure you guys could drop your favorite seed places. You could also get your teas and stuff from Tranquil Hooks.
Yeah.
And you can get your bee products from Mercy Merce because the bees are gonna be buzzing. You're gonna keep it buzzing. And so hey, we just trying to like give out good information, and like everybody has something really worthwhile to share, which I love.
And then
Yes.
and then just make sure, like your state, you can forage, because in my state we cannot. And I didn't know that until I was in the middle of the highway pulling up some Indian brush flowers. They were just wildflowers, but it was someone here on TikTok who made mention, just to be careful. And I really appreciate her because, I could have just got stopped by the police. I don't know. I live my life in the red sometimes, but you just want to be careful. And some places you can, and some places you cannot. So if you sneak and do it, I guess if nobody catches you, that's fine. But I wouldn't go and do too much.
We ain't gonna break the law. You know what
No,
I'm
we're
saying?
not. We're not.
Marie, what's
But a
going
little
down?
sniff ain't gonna hurt nobody either.
Hey, stitches get stitches.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, she put in the app. Good job.
Oh,
Oh
look at
wow.
this! Come on, dirty
Come
girl.
on, nerdy girl,
Yeah.
show us what you got going.
Hold on. Trying
That's
to.
blue, I'm sure.
There
The
it is.
dog wanna.
Look at that. Okay. That's the new barn.
It's not completed.
Oh, that's
Okay.
nice.
Um,
It's cost effective. Tell us the numbers. Crunch the numbers. We buy numbers. Let's go.
so the only thing. Hold on. Let me fix the camera. Hold on. Let me take off the green screen. So the only thing I purchased, I came outside because the kids are asleep inside. But the only thing I purchased were the 4x4s and the sheets of wood. Everything else was repurposed from the old houses that my old goat destroyed. So all the 2x4s that I used and everything like that was reused from the old houses. So it only cost me about $160 to build it myself.
Okay.
That is so nice.
Sweat equity. Okay. Hey, you can't build. You're gonna have to pay somebody to build. So you might as well learn to do it yourself, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That flex your muscle for us, sis. Girl power.
Okay.
All right.
Let's
Nerdy
see.
girl power. Let's go.
So I'm lucky enough to where one of our very close friends is actually in construction, and he was visiting for the weekend, and I said, "Hey, if you help me build this, I will give you goat meat, and I will like cook you a meal." So I sent him home with goat meat, and then I cooked him a meal, and he spent the day with us, and he helped us build the barn. It's not complete. We plan on doing doors inside and like obviously on the outside, so where we can pretty much create like a system where if we need to hold like a birthing female in a corner, we can, and like have her be by herself, to where wherever we want to block off, we can block off when we need to do shots or like hoof trimmings or think like medical care and stuff like that. So and I just want to preface this because I saw someone mention in the comments how they adore goats and how they're cute and stuff. My goats are the meat breed kind. They're not the cute little mini pet ones. My goats get to be over 200 plus pounds.
Oh my God.
And when I just harvested Romeo and I got 100 pounds of meat from him. And that was his hanging weight.
Romeo that was roaming everywhere, tearing everything up.
Yes.
I knew his days was numbered.
Yep. So Romeo's currently in the freezer, and let me tell you, I was expecting more of a gamey taste. We did castrate him, and we waited 30 days after castration to try and let all the hormones come out of him and stuff like that. So I expected more of like a pungent taste in the meat, but I gave everyone, like, I made ribs for my friend that helped us with the barn, and I was like, "Oh, what do you think?" And he was like, "These beef ribs are good," and I was like, "That's not beef, you're eating goat."
Oh wow.
And I had made a goat stew instead of a beef stew. And I asked my teenage daughter, the 16-year-old one, I was like, "Oh, what do you think?" And she's like, "The beef stew is good." She was like, "You always make good beef stew." And I was like, "It's not beef stew, it's goat stew."
Oh wow.
So
Pretty good.
it
I ain't
tastes.
great goat though.
I think it depends on like how you raise it, what you're feeding it, and stuff like that on the flavor that you're gonna
Nobody
get.
cares it.
Yeah. So they get they mines have more of a beefier flavor to them as opposed to
The other
that
breed.
yeah, as opposed to the more like gamier taste.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh
Oh
no.
yeah, Mominator. These are African boar goats. The lowest weight that they will be is 175 on the lower end for females, but they can get upwards up to 300 pounds.
Wow.
So
It's crazy.
yes, Birmingham. If I do next day shipping, it's $82.
Wow.
But if I can find a styrofoam container, it's about $15 to ship. But I'd have to like ship it in a styrofoam box container with ice and stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send it to him COD. Dash on delivery.
Do they even do that
Out of your
anymore?
pocket. That's like call and collect. You know what I'm
That's
saying? You
like
want it, it
1986.
has to be overnight. It's out of your pocket, bro.
But yeah, where are you, Birmingham?
In Florida, man. We'll do it.
Oh, see that you mentioned it, medical containers, Mominator. I probably can still get them for free at the local Tractor Supply where I worked, because they get all their medications in those styrofoam medical boxes. And I used to get them all the time. And when I sent my family home pork last year, I didn't have to buy any of the containers because I had gotten them off for free at work. So
That's good to know. That's a good tip.
Really good to know.
yeah, they just throw them out anyway. So
Wow.
I think they normally get, at least up here, they get their medical shipments in the middle of the week. So all you have to do is ask them like, "Hey, did you get your cold medical shipment in? And if so, can I have your styrofoam box?" And they'll just give them to you because they're just gonna trash them.
And that's at what, local dentist office, medical office?
Mine's is for my local Tractor Supply. So
Oh.
anywhere, like any Tractor Supply or any place that's going to get like your vet medications or even your PetSmart or Petco, because even some of their fishes and stuff like that come in those cold styrofoam containers.
Okay.
You can ask them like, "Hey, if you have styrofoam boxes, shipping boxes, do you mind if I take one or two?" And half the time they don't mind because they're just going to chuck them into the recycling anyway.
Okay.
Look at us sharing.
And all the information. This is a garden drip right here.
Sharing is caring.
Garden drip from the Garden Gumbo.
And also, I'm gonna give y'all a plug for my peoples who go to like your local like Ace Hardware, Lowe's, Home Depot, Tractor Supply, everywhere that sells the Bonnie plants. Okay, if you can figure out when the Bonnie plant guy replaces or replenishes the plants, 9 times out of 10, the day that they're replenishing plants, they're getting rid of everything else that's there because it doesn't look nice. But I can tell you right now, as someone who's taken home hundreds of plants for free, they're just going to trash them. So if you tell them like, "Hey, if you're getting rid of these, do you mind if I just take them?" Half the time, the Bonnie plant guy is really nice, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm just going to throw them away anyway," because the store itself gets a credit for them.
Yeah, they sure do.
And our Bonnie plant guy knew that people just like taking the damaged ones home, so he would just put them right by our dumpster for the customers to come grab them.
Wow, that's nice.
So
That's a good tip, though.
yeah.
A beautiful tip. Hey.
But just keep that in mind if you're trying to garden on a budget and you don't have a lot of money, but you really want to grow things like tomatoes, peppers. And there's always a bunch of herbs like your basil, thyme, oregano, and parsley that they end up chucking. And 9 times out of 10, like my parsley and my Greek oregano that I have is from last year, and it's an herb that I got for free because they were throwing it out.
Man, it's a beautiful thing, man. Listen, we gonna wrap up today. We love that you came through and shared with us. We have like a very strict time. We're gonna end at 10 o'clock. I'm gonna let my co-host over here say some closing words, and we're gonna let Edwina take us home, baby.
Well, thank you guys for being here. Look forward to having a great week today. Today starts a beautiful week. We're going to have a beautiful week.
Okay, come on, it's okay.
All I'm gonna say is
I'll toss it to you,
Come
Edwina.
on, go lay down.
look, before we toss it to Edwina, I'm gonna say
You want to lay down on the couch?
buy land, not designer.
Hey.
Buy land, not designer. Edwina, take us home, baby.
Okay. All right, so we hope you have a wonderful week. We also hope you enjoyed the show. But in the meantime, as well as in between time, I pray that you guys take care of yourself so that we can take care of each other. We hope to see you soon. Bye
God
bye.
bless. See you next week. Same.
Bye.